Man, my cereal. My cereal is mad soggy. I had to see the whole segment.
You should have finished that shit, bro. What the fuck? Yo, soggy cereal is the worst, guy.
Look at this.
No, what is that? Frosted Flakes?
Special K with
He should be getting on.
Oh my god.
Bro, that was Special K.
Whoa.
you almost made me spit it out.
I don't know what the fuck was that you showed, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah.
You almost made me spit it out.
Yeah.
Welcome to DD Live. We want to thank you for tuning in. We're going to recap the last week 4 of the regular season. There's much to talk about. There's a lot of top plays. We could have done top 10, and we thank you for all the content you send in. But there's a lot of storylines, some interesting interviews that you guys will listen to. And we're going to talk about that MVP, those tier ratings, what's going to happen in the playoffs, and a lot more. But with that, we're going to jump in straight into the recap. And with this, one of the cornerstones of our show, that as much as the chat wants to talk about and discredit, it's a man I love. It's a tier 2 that everyone's going to learn. And apparently, despite all the talk at Sports Grill, this man is still part of grown-ups. And without further ado, Jules, my man, my tier 2.
What's up, my brother? How you doing?
Baby. Vikings and Raiders, talk to me. What happened? What did you guys do to the Vikings?
Let's get right to it. That game was a shit show. All right. It was 4-1. I was expecting more from my man Kevin, but all I got was, complaining and complaining. At the end of the day, we covered them pretty well. Andy balled out. Patterson, that guy's still a grown-ass man, and he's got tremendo skills, let me tell you. Pero at the end of the day, going 4-1 against an opponent that they want to rematch in the playoffs, forget about it. No chance.
Who started with the ball?
I believe we did.
You guys started with the ball. And when you talk about Andy, you talk about Patterson, how did that correlate into the game? Because a 4-1 score, what did they do?
Honestly, they beat themselves. Okay. It could have been a different game, but at the end of the day, 10 times out of 10, when your tier 2 is not, your tier 3, is not doing what he's supposed to do, and beating the other team's tier 3, that's the result you're gonna get.
Let me ask you, how did you guys match up defensively? Because I know Lewis obviously can run a regular defense, but let's call it what it is. With you and JD at corners, at least to begin the game, how were you guys matching up? Were you guys running a zone? Were you guys trying to man up a little bit? Because if you go man by man, I picked them to win because I figured Dax and Kevin were going to be able to exploit not you, but JD.
Right. And, that's what a lot of people were saying this week, that they were going to exploit our MVP, tier 3 MVP, JD. That boy's a baller. So don't be talking shit about my tier 3, boy.
Yeah, we just got
in all seriousness, what's that?
That we just got that notification from our commissioner. So that's hot off the press. JD won that tier 3.
Let's go, Raiders up. But yeah, guys. So JD played great defense. I played great defense. Lou played great defense. Our whole team overall, we were able to take advantage of their offense, and I think our coverage was pretty locked down. I mean, for the most part, those long balls.
Did you guys pick anything off, or it was just straight stops?
So I got an interception on my cap, Andy. He said he threw it to me, but I think otherwise.
Who was rushing for the Vikings?
Who was rushing for the Vikings? Kevin.
Kevin was rushing for the Vikings. Okay.
Yeah, and he even said it. And I respect guys that give, people that are actually balling some credit. And that's what Kevin did, because JD fucking balled out.
Okay, so then according to Jules, you guys heard it here. There wasn't much of a game. It was the Raiders steamrolling the Vikings to a 4-1 dub.
I hope to see them in the playoffs again. So let's see what happens.
Well, it just depends how the schedules works out. So moving on to the second game, and Perra, I know this is going to be very difficult for you to speak about. Jets and Ravens. I'm going to have a couple comments on this because I officiated this game, so I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire.
I mean, listen, that was their Super Bowl. That was their one win all week 4. It was simple. I mean, going into the game, I knew
Wait, the Jets went 1-3.
Well, they went 1-2-1.
1-2-1.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And I get it. That was their Super Bowl. They were trying to make sure they beat us, so they had to head-to-head advantage in case we ended up tied, so they can go for that 2 seed. But listen, I think, like I said, I think it was going to come down to my play defensively. I personally don't think I played that bad defensively, but it was too much speed. Too much speed on their side, and you know, we had a couple of drops. I threw a pick. You know, they won the game. This is where I'm gonna interject, because that's the beauty about being able to officiate a game, and you could see it from the outside looking in. Your interception was off a deflection, which, if I'm not mistaken, it either hit Chris D's or Suazo's hands. It bobbled in the air. Anthony made a spectacular grab. He scooped it right before it touched the ground. So that was your interception. So that's one. The other takeaway that I had from that game was that I think PD put all his chips on the table, like you said, for this one game, because this man balled out. I think Anthony had 2 touchdowns. PD ran one for almost half the field. No, he ran the other 2.
He ran the other 2. So it was definitely the game I felt that they circled on the calendar that they had to show up. They were screaming, celebrating after every touchdown, and they kind of emphatically won that game. I don't think your mistake was that indicative, though it did turn the momentum of the game, because despite Peting having the game of his life, as you know, throughout what his short done deal career has been, you guys are still in the game. Because
it was 3-2 at that point. It was 3-2.
Pauly was making moves. Pauly had a across the field catch, took it for a touchdown. The issue there with me was Chris D. I don't think Chris D was checked in for that game. I don't think Chris D was giving his 100% for that game, whatever the case may be. Anthony had his way with him in the secondary in terms of being able to catch those touchdowns on him. One of those drops that you were notating at the beginning was on a pivotal 3rd down. It was to Chris D, and he dropped it. Then on the subsequent drive, then was the interception. There was a lot there going on. When you're tier 1, when your captain is not performing at a high level, it kind of puts the burden on everyone else. Then you look at the other side. Anthony and PD knew what they were playing for, and that's sort of what the end result was. It was a good game for the Jets.
Like a ball effect, you know, every little thing just kept, chipping away, and then it steamrolled, and yeah, like you said, at 4-2, it wasn't like, oh my God, it was 4-2, because like you said, I threw the pick when we were driving to score to tie it up at 3. And PD said it, he's like, listen, I didn't care about defense because I know you guys couldn't stop us. So we felt the same way. Problem is, they got that first initial stop, so they had, after that, they theoretically had the leg up, because every time they scored, they would go up 1. Like I said, I think it was their Super Bowl. It showed. I think they won, not convincingly, but they won fair.
How was your rushing attack in that game?
We tried Suazo. As well. I don't think the rushing was a problem. I think it was just too much speed. And PD, bro, PD on the handoff game, like Angel said, that boy, he's 42 playing like he was 22. He balled, man. He balled.
Facts.
I have one of the clips showing that, had it been a longer run, any other week it would have been a top 5 play. Yeah. Any other week it would have been a top 5 play. I think we had to look over, I kid you not, over 100 videos, 150 videos this week between what Andres sent and what we took over the week.
15 to 20 worthy plays.
So any other week, PD would have taken top 2, top 3 honors. There was one single play where he literally broke 3 people on the sideline to get a touchdown.
He broke myself. He broke Suazo and Plaza.
Yeah, I didn't want to put the names out there, but yeah, PD did have a game to remember. we've talked about this in the last episode. The Jets are going to be a team to look at in the playoffs. Obviously, the week 4 didn't pan out for them, which kind of leads us to the next segment of our recap. And we're going to talk about the Jets and the Rams. And we had told you guys at the beginning of this show that we were going to bring on a couple of people on this show in order to interview. And in order to talk about this Rams and Jets games, I thought that as a crew, it would serve due to Done Deal to be able to bring not only the reigning newly minted MVP, but the defending champ, because until he's taken off the throne, this man is the champ and now the MVP. So without further ado, let's bring out, and again, guys, I'm not doing this on purpose. It's another week and another David segment. David, thank you for waiting for us. Thank you for joining. Again, this has become a hot topic on our show, the weekly David segment. And
let's talk about David.
And I'm
Is that the MVP right there?
I'm fanboying because I got the man live and in color on our show. David, thank you for joining us.
What's good, fellas?
Jules, you want to take for this interview, please?
Let's get right to it. DD MVP, how do you feel?
Feels good, bro. It feels good to be recognized by everybody that you play with, and honestly, it always feels good to get recognition.
I respect that. I respect that a lot.
But I do gotta say, it's because of the team, 100%.
Okay.
Man, I don't want to hear
Good
that.
answer.
I don't want to hear that, David. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. It's okay. It's okay. Jules, keep on. Forget that.
All right,
Edit that out.
Let's
Let
move
that
on.
out.
Let's move on. So look, what does MVP mean to you?
It means it was basically the captain on the best team. That's all it was. I'm serious when I say it was the team, because if we go 9-7, I don't get MVP.
Why do you say that?
Because what's valuable about 9 is it's not. You got to reward the best player on the best team. That's what it is.
So you're saying you're the best player on the best team, not the most valuable player?
Because some people go ahead, David.
Most valuable player, like in Done Deal, that could be said about every captain. Like you take out if you take out Lewis from the Raiders, what happens? Chris D missed the last game, right? And you guys struggled. You take out your best player, the captain, you take out the best player, the team's gonna struggle. That's why that player is the captain.
Okay.
Do you think another captain would have done better with the Rams?
Better? No, I don't think so. No.
So because some would argue that if Peaky was on the Rams would have gone undefeated.
I don't think so. I think maybe he could have gotten hot, whatever. But no, like I've said before, the chemistry plays a huge role. Like no one sees specific people the same way. I played with Forrest in the tournament, so I knew already what he can do. I played with Daniel all the time. Like there's just a trust factor there.
Okay.
How many weeks did you have without Nico? Your second tier 3.
We only played it was only one week.
1 week,
but
so
we went
4 games.
3-1. So yeah, so I mean, everyone has like adversity in Done Deal.
Yeah,
we all
that's one of the best things about this league.
Yeah. Everyone has to, you play the hand that you're dealt, but everyone gets dealt a different hand.
And that's why stats matter. Because men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Okay, so I have a question really quick for you, David. The week that Nico was out, what was your record? What did you go that day? You went 3-1?
We went 3-1. Yeah.
And when Forrest had his best stat week, 5+ throw-ups, how'd you guys do that week?
We went 3.
Well, without him, yeah, without him.
On the day we went no. On the day we went 3-1. Without him, we went
2-0. You beat the Rams, you beat the Niners, and then you beat us.
No. The Niners was our first game of the day. We We had just lost to the Seahawks.
Oh, that's right.
Well, he was playing, and then he was in and out, but he wouldn't say. And then he finally just disappeared. He didn't even say, he just disappeared. So overall, I would say we went with him being that way 1-1.
Okay, 1-1. But you went 3-1 that week and 3-1 the week without Nico. And see, that I think is something that needs to be factored into when you're talking about MVP, because you can talk about the stats, but 3-1 without your tier 3. And then,
Remember, he had technically 2 tier 3s because he drafted in the middle.
okay, yeah, because you had your brother and then you had Nico.
Yeah.
So you essentially went 6-2 those 2 weeks. Because as much as
You bad at math? He went 4-2.
4-2, why not? He won
Remember,
3-1 and then
Those
3-1, right? Because as
those
much as
weeks,
we
yeah.
wanna talk about it, let's be honest, was Forrest really 100% that whole week? I doubt it. He might have been
You're right. Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah.
a hangover is a hangover.
Yeah,
You know, that hurts. Every step hurts.
And bro, that week 3, it was very hot.
This is the
Yeah.
it was,
I'm gonna go as far as saying that Forrest wasn't just a hangover. This man was on the verge of a heat stroke.
he was
Yeah.
dehydrated,
Because
100%.
this I have never seen someone that bad, that bad after a night out of drinking. Either
He took
that,
his socks off.
or it was the Kevin special. It was one or the other. It was one or the other. I'm not going to think that Kevin would purposefully get his boy so drunk in order to gain an advantage on the football field. I wouldn't put it on him.
Did you guys play the Vikings that week?
No, we had played him the week before.
Mm.
I'll give Kevin a pass.
Now, David, let me ask you a question, because your brother gets a lot of disrespect in the league. Okay, and I don't want to question you about your brother or whatnot, but obviously you place your brother on a pedestal, and now how much is that the fact that you're okay with everyone passing up on him and you'll take him in that third round, or do you really value his worth? And what are others not seeing? I know it's a loaded question, but I want to dive into that, because Danny could have easily taken that best tier rating today. And there was just so much talk. Well, he's more of like a tier 2. He's not a tier 3, but then when you want to give him his due, he's not a tier 2 and he's a tier 3. So we kind of have the league split in the middle about whether we love or hate Daniel, but you always build your teams around your brother. And on the hot seat, you did tell us that a lot had to do with the fact that you want to play with your brother. But I want to leave that aside. I want to talk about purely football. What do you see in your brother that other people do not?
I mean, first of all, I would say that towards the beginning of the season, whatever, that was more the case. Now, we've played 4 weeks and he's been getting the respect that I think he deserves. People are seeing what he can do. Why I like playing with him, because I know what he could do. I know I could put him here, I could put him there, I could have him rush, he could play corner, he could play center for me, he could be a receiver, he could be a decoy, he can, whatever he needs to do, he'll do it, and he won't complain about it. He'll do it. All the dirty stuff, it make me a big play here, I could just trust him.
Like a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Plug and play. He's plug and play.
Very expensive and beautiful Swiss Army knife. A Mont Blanc Swiss Army knife, because if you look at his stats, he put up some ridiculous numbers, and especially on a team that is full of studs. Because as much as we want to, make fun of Forrest and his inconsistent hands, or other people want to, question his football IQ, Forrest is not a tier 4. Forrest is not.
No, but so I don't know if anybody noticed, this past week, Daniel was playing with like a little mini cast. He had messed up his finger the week before. So, like, to my point that, like, that's why his stats may end up in that great this week. And if you look at the stats, basically Nico took over everything that Daniel was doing. Nico had a great week this past week, and Daniel doesn't care. He was like, all right, I'll do whatever. I'll be a decoy. I'll just run sprints down the field. And that's why I value, like, what he could do.
Okay.
But that's a testament, I think, not only to your brother, one, to your whole team too, and not to toot your horn. I know we've been talking good about you the past couple of DD lives, but you knowing that, okay, so let me get the ball into my other guys' hands. Other teams not knowing that, because I didn't even know that. Granted, I didn't play against you, but
I didn't know that either.
We don't know that either. We play against.
I just hope we play you again in the playoffs.
Ooh.
I will say they had you. The Raiders had you that game, man.
We had them.
3-1, and I was refereeing. Like I said,
Hey, Jules,
It is what it is.
Jules, there's only 2 people in this on this show that have 2 buys. Okay, so you can sit that one out. You gotta win your games.
I got
Still
to
in
buy
the playoffs though. Hey,
chill. I got home field advantage right here.
Yeah, on that
That's
couch.
right.
On
That's
that
right.
couch, and even for Summer Showdown, because you didn't make the cut, Vic. slept through it.
No
Yeah.
te creo.
Slept through it, Vic. You slept through it. David, is there?
Hey, no, but David, you talking about, MVP going to the best player overall. We know that. So, in your opinion, who did you vote for MVP?
Give us your full ballot.
And we're gonna look at Andres. We're gonna talk to Andres after this, so you can't lie to us. This man will call you out. Come on, David, spill it.
I was a little petty. I didn't vote because I felt like
All
I
right, we gotta cut this short.
I gotta edit this out. Lazo.
Yo, chill.
but if I had to vote, I would have voted Jordan 1.
If you had to vote, if you had to vote, you had to vote, David. No, but we appreciate your honesty. We appreciate your honesty, and I
David's a real one.
I really do think that each of the three of you put up a convincing testimonial on what should have been a great MVP season. You had the runaway team, and I think that what you shed light on us during the first question, where you told us, well, it was more about chemistry and building a team, and you're right there. You kind of fit the personalities into the scheme of what you wanted to run, and not necessarily plug and play. It worked for you, and obviously the record is a testament to it. You guys have been top dog since week 1, and you're still top dog heading into the playoffs. You got the 2-week bye, and we congratulate you. You could couple. I asked you to put the championship trophy behind you, but because you're so humble, you did not do it. But you're gonna have an MVP trophy to go right next to that championship trophy. And we thank you for coming on with us. We thank you for being candid. And like I said, I feel like we're just gonna keep talking about you because like I feel like every week we have a segment dedicated to you, and it's not because of my fondness towards you. It's because your play on the field merits it.
I appreciate that. I do want to say the one person on our team that doesn't get talked about at all is Harold, our tier 5. That guy has been
he gets talked
amazing.
about.
John gave him some love a couple weeks ago on the chat.
Yeah, but just like everyone else on the team, he'll do this, he'll do that. No one complains. We just keep going. And that's why, like, I love playing with what we have.
And David, and speaking as someone that played for you in the Mamba Bowl, and just the fact of the way you've been on here with us on the show, and the way you were in the hot seat, and you've demonstrated yourself throughout the weeks in the season, you are captain material, and someone that I think that we would all want to play for.
Appreciate that, guys. Appreciate that.
Thank you, David. And we expect big things from you in the playoffs, unless you're playing the 49ers, and wishing you the best of luck.
That would be in the championship. That's the only way you see each other, in the championship.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, David. Take care, brother.
I'll see you there, David.
Cheers.
See you soon.
I'll see you guys out there.
Well, that was interesting. What do you guys think about that?
That was great.
That was great.
Damn, he didn't vote. That was great. He's gonna get some more slack.
You guys got him there. You guys got him there on the ropes. I saw that.
Yeah, but
Very inconspicuous. I like it. I think you had something there to hang on to, and you got him. But definitely, you guys got to vote, man. You guys got to vote, and not necessarily for the tier 1s, because we saw the massive voting that there was for the tier 1s, but the tier 2s, the tier 3s, the tier 4s, the tier 5s. They putting the effort out there. A lot of these guys, they've taken time out. They've put in the effort to fit in the roles, and the least. A part of this show is to give love to every single person. We're not here to put anybody down. We're just here to crack jokes and to show you guys what you missed throughout the week. So the fact that you guys didn't vote, we're disappointed.
Yeah.
So
everybody, like I said, even like I get it, for example, Angel or even myself, we couldn't vote for our tier 2 guy.
I had to vote for Julio. I voted for Julio because Julio was the best tier 2, in my opinion. That was not Dusto.
Exactly. But you got to give everybody love, because everyone deserves it. It's like you can't be a David and not vote, just you got to vote, man. It's this one of the great things about this league, this end of the season awards. It's great because everybody gets a voice, and we all this complaining and this, bro, this is your time to say who you think should win.
Only half the league voted.
Yeah.
For tier 2. I don't even know how many voted for tier 3, but only half the league voted for tier 2.
It happened last season, so
yeah. But but we so far. I know you've been here, Jules and Vic. It was a better turnout than last season because last season the winners were getting like 10 votes. I'm like, bro, what is that?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, gentlemen.
Hey, but
Watch-
you know, I just want to say something. I want to congratulate JD on passing previous best tier 3 from myself to my QB. Call God. That boy's on a mission. All right.
Yeah,
He definitely showed out this season. He showed out.
Yeah, JG definitely
Facts.
very deserving of that.
Well
tier
deserved,
3,
brother.
50 total touchdowns. Raiders are not in the playoffs. Raiders are not in the playoffs, JD, because the knock on the Raiders after week 1 was like, yeah, Lewis is, because mind you, I'm coming in, I'm a rook, I don't know, the storylines or the backstories on the players or whatnot, and everyone tells me, no, Lewis is this great guy, but if he doesn't get a quarterback, he's just going to be just like Martian, and Kareem. They're just going to be the Falcons. They're not going to get anywhere. They make a move, they get JD, and they could have potentially played into a bye in week 4.
And I was one of the ones that I was like, damn, I would have given up Jules for JD. Tier 3. They gave up a tier 2 in Willie. I was one of the ones that I was like, damn, bro, I think they should have tried to give up Jules. But hey, it worked out. It worked out, man, and more power to them. Like I said, JD balled out. And
we're in the playoffs.
Yeah, you guys are in the playoffs.
I had no idea this man threw for 49 touchdowns.
That tells you how well he played these last.
He spread out. He spread out the ball.
Let's not get carried away. Okay, let's not get carried away.
He's throwing to the number 1 receiver in the league. You get that?
No. He didn't. At least week 2 and week 3 when we played you, it was all Lewis. Yes, here and there,
stop us.
100%. No, 100%. I'm not taking anything away from that. But we spread it out. That I will say. From all the highlights that I've seen, week 4 he was able to spread it out a little bit more. But I mean, hey, bro, you have Lewis on your team. You better be putting up three points a game at least. If that's not a decoy, that's a cheat code.
Yeah, but
I agree.
50 touchdowns is 50 touchdowns. How much did the MVP had? What, 54?
52. David had 52. He had 49, and I had 48. That's how I played.
And what, last season's MVP Nico had what, 55?
55.
Yeah.
MVP numbers. Of course, he deserved that tier.
Yeah.
And we're moving on to DD top 5 plays. And I tell you guys, we could have done top 100, top 50, top 20, but nobody was going to sit through 4 hours of us 4 talking about plays. So we took the last day to look at all this content, and we came with your 5 best plays. And now with your DD Live top 5 plays. And number 5.
Pauly over the Pauly versus the Jets. It was the Ravens versus the Jets. I think it was second and long or second and short. We were gonna take a shot. Pauly just ran. I believe his route was supposed to be a post dig. I mean, like Petey was saying, he didn't care about offense. At the end of the day, he still got him on a post flat up. He sold the dig and it went up. And I mean, like I said, there isn't a tier 2 that can cover Pauly, and he just went up and
there's like 3 cars lengths there between Petey and Pauly. Look at that.
Good route.
That's the kind of traffic we want on the Palmetto. 4th play.
4. It's one of the big surprises. At this point, this was huge. They started the day 2-0, I believe. And this was their second game. And Mo gets a handoff, and he just said, I'm gonna score and put everybody on skates. He put skates twice.
Well, hold on. We got
Tony Stark himself.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh my! Is that Force's ACL?
Oh,
come on, man! Not ACL, man. Saying ankle.
Oh my God!
Hey, no te creo.
No te creo. Look at that! Look at that! This man juked out the same. Who's that? Who got? Oh my God! Oh! Da-na-na, da-na-na. Mo, you're a bad man.
yeah.
All right, moving on.
He doesn't get enough respect for his offensive game.
Yeah, I will say I was one of those. I was like, bro, I don't see Mo play offense. I don't even think he's allowed to play offense. And he showed out. He showed out these last 2 weeks. This is our last game. This is another Pauly play. In my opinion, the best tier 2 got robbed. I will say he got robbed because it was ridiculous that man only got, I think, 2-3 votes for top tier 2. That's insane. But I mean,
That's on Baca.
That's on Baca. This is a game where, yeah, they're going for hard, but they're going for hard with 2 tier 2s and a captain. We're going for hard without our captain. Paulie's our best player right here. So everybody knows who's getting the ball. And this is just a slant up post, or I believe a post corner post. And it's just Paulie doing what Paulie does, man. It doesn't matter who's covering him.
Who's the QB on this play?
Just some guy there named Perra. That's a pretty decent throw, if I have to say.
That's crazy. I heard that
That's
guy got
crazy.
picked off twice during the Raiders game.
Now, hey, Perra, can you talk to us about this game? Because there was a conflict of interest with the schedule, Bills.
Yeah, I mean,
You want to shed some light on that?
nah, I mean, I'm not a captain, so I don't know all the ins and outs, but I know there was a little bit of something going on with that schedule. But hey, it is what it is.
Oh, man, it made that play special. And now on number 2.
Number 2, my boy CP, flag guard himself. Flag out himself.
Oh,
That
man.
guy. Oh,
Oh,
oh my God.
he almost high stepped. He wanted to.
That
He
boy
wanted
said,
to.
y'all dog water.
That man said,
Big six.
this man was
Big
treating
six.
this game like a Call of Duty game. This man was in Verdansk. Look at him.
Oh my God. Hey, that was actually his first catch of the day.
Ooh. And it's
Hey,
like-
hey, listen, pick sixes, and who threw that?
Petey.
Oh my God, pick sixes and PD. They go like on white on rice. He threw 2 pick sixes against the 49ers. Wow. CP.
That was a great
Flag
play.
God. Get him, flag God. Oh man. So it is true. PD
It's
used all
good
his
to
energy
see some
against
action from CP.
PD used all his energy against the Ravens. There was nothing else left for anybody else. And the top play.
Top
Oh.
play, MVP, runner up, I believe.
No,
or was
no,
it-
this should have been the MVP right here, man. He did it with 2 tier 5s. Got on a ladder.
Look at George.
Timmy, take your flags off, son.
Yeah, Timmy just said, "Okay, I'm done for the day."
No, Jordan
Yeah.
told them we leave the cookies on the top shelf. We leave the cookies on the top shelf. Look at him. Get at him, son. Boom.
So I want to take a quick.
Hey, that's
second,
why he's the
who,
captain.
who is Chris J trying to pretend like he's pumping the George for?
it's funny because I see that and I'm like, as a quarterback, I look at him. I'm like,
Everyone knows
where
he's
he's
throwing
going.
it to one of the other. Who is he pumping at?
Well, Mendoza thought maybe it was going.
Mendoza got it,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, hold on. Most thinking it's going this way too, because everybody's body language is going in this route. Only Jordan knows. Timmy's like, no, please, no. I'm on an island. I'm on an island with a madman. Jordan, my MVP, my captain. You got the top play.
Yep.
That guy's a baller, yo. He always pulls it through.
Captain, underrated captain.
Nah.
He's
Why?
not
No
underrated.
idea. Honest,
No chance.
no, he is. He is. Honestly, he is. Because he should have been the 12th rated captain.
Oh, that's true.
He and this is his 3rd season. I don't know if he played. I know he played the Nation, right, Jules? The first tournament that you played. Did he play that tournament? Actually, I don't know. I
No,
don't
he
think
didn't.
played. I don't think he played in any tournament. Did he play his last
He didn't
tournament?
play in any tournament.
Yeah, but this is his 3rd season in DD, and like I said, I think at some point in the
He was
chat,
my cap last season.
yeah, he was your cap last season. But I think at some point in the chat, or maybe in another episode, I said it. Jordan. Oh yeah, it was to you, Angel. Jordan always has a top 14. He's had a top 14 every single season in DD. Like I said, now he's never shown up in the playoffs physically because he's legit never shown up in the playoffs. He's missed the week of the playoffs.
He was
So-
there with us last year.
Yeah?
Yeah, we were there.
It didn't matter. You guys didn't make any noise. But my point is, he's had a top 14 in DD every single season. So in my opinion, for him to be rated 12th as a captain, given the track record he has, was a little bit of that. He's definitely underrated. He should be in the top 8 going into next season.
I think higher. Because we're gonna
There's,
get that.
there's a lot of talent coming in
A
though.
lot of talent, yeah.
We're gonna get that into the next segment, but there's a lot of captains that underwhelmed.
Yeah, it happens. It happens every season.
It happens every season, but I think that if we're talking about that Jordan consistently is in this conversation of the top
He
four.
has the track record. That's what I'm saying.
And I know people don't listen. I didn't create this narrative. I didn't create it.
The words 2 tier 5s better not come out of your mouth.
2 trash tier 5s. 2 trash tier 5s, bro. And this man is 3 games away from getting a star. 3 wins away from getting a star. Okay.
Hey, I'll give credit where it's due. Angel, you're not a tier 5.
No, I don't even want that. I'm talking about Jordan, because week after week, because it's not just a knock on me. It's a knock on him. It's a knock on Dusty. It's a knock on Chris J. The fact that they're just not good enough at their respective tiers in place, that, you know, everyone's just, we can't even get the 49ers spelled correctly on the power rankings.
Man,
right.
Give Nico a shot, man. You'll see Nico, man. Nico, special character.
Listen, Jordan, in my book, you're all aces, MVP. I'm glad you're my captain.
I hope so.
And you got the top play.
You have a problem.
And you got the, I didn't say how to listen. We can make a whole segment about that, but we're not here to talk about toxic culture and cancers. So we're just going to keep going. So moving on, DD Dimes and Ducks. And for that, we're going to give it to our man, Jose Perra Guerra. Lead it away, brother.
Let's do it. DD Dimes. We decided to go with 4 this week. No particular order. There isn't like a 1, 2, 3, 4. First up, I believe we have Kevin with his 1 throw per game, as the rule states. This is why, I don't care what anybody says. This is why Jordan chose our number 1 draft decision to begin with the draft, because he was going Kevin all the way. He's gonna say no. He might say no. Kevin as a quarterback, it's annoying, but all he does is win, and all he does is win, which is the most important stat line.
Yep.
And
he's a great DD quarterback.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
His offense works, and it's pretty much his offense. He gets a handoff, and bro, this is not a dime. This is a dot. He just dots it on that back corner. Patterson makes a Patterson type of play, but that's a dot, bro. That is a great freaking throw on the run.
Baca rushes him. Brett's the one playing D.
He made that 1 throw count. That's for sure.
He really did.
He definitely made that 1 throw count. That is a dot. If it's not a dime, that he dotted that throw. That's a hell of a throw.
And that's the confidence. That's the confidence he has going into every game. He knows that if he has that one opportunity to throw that one, possible touchdown throw, look, there you go in your eyes. That's what he can do.
No, and that's exactly what we expect. And we talked about it on last week's episode. I really thought we were going to see more from the Vikings, but at the very least, they secured that playoff spot. But that's a beautiful throw. And especially on someone on the caliber of Brett. Patterson, obviously, everyone knows his quality. Anything gets on that man's hands, he's catching it. But
he was also a runner-up for the best tier 3, right?
Kevin, I think Kevin got third place. Kevin got third place. Danny got second.
Okay. No, yeah, Andy and Kevin for sure. They have a great connection.
Yeah,
that QB wide receiver connection is solid.
100%,
all right,
100%.
next one up, Perra.
Here we got Tony. Listen, I'm one of the few believers in Tony as a quarterback, given the fact that you can get him at tier 5. I don't think you can win with Tony as your quarterback, but man, he can make all the throws. I don't know if he can make all the reads or consistently make the throws, but bro, this is a hell of a throw. This is a hell of a catch by arguably one of my favorite people in the Manu, the stud.
He had a game of games.
That guy had 2 weeks. He came into the season week 3 and 4. He ended up tied with Kevin for sacks, leading the league in sacks with 9 sacks. That guy is a baller.
I feel bad for him. You know why? Because he missed his girlfriend's graduation to show up for his team on a DD Saturday.
And that's not invested. Jeremy, you need to take some notes. This man is invested.
Yeah. And they played underhanded. They had to pick up randos.
Yeah.
And he was doing this.
Yeah, that was
they had to fix it,
that's on the Bills. He squeezed it between Roger and Baca that was coming over to help. So that was a great throw and a great catch.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Tier three.
Hey.
That's tier 3.
So
JD with a drop in the bucket. The definition of a dime. He just dropped it in there.
Yeah.
just knowing
Yo,
your
Gabe-
matchups. Just knowing your matchups.
I mean,
Yo,
listen,
that Gabe is fucking.
he was a baller, bro. He's a baller. Not against the Ravens, but he's a baller. He's a baller. That is a throw. That is a throw.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Don't. But hey, Gabe, that is, brother. You didn't have to do anything. All you had to do was put your hands out. That is dropping it in the bucket. That is
Okay, but there's certain tier 4s that can't make that catch.
100%. But that's just a throw, man. And this is the last dime. This is Petey. Vic, you're the one saying that you don't know if Petey could throw or if he can
Hey,
quarterback. This is, bro. This is another one. All Enzo had to do was run his route, put his hands out, because he just dropped it in there. I believe this is second and short because they're taking a shot. There's a slant goal on Jose the PT God GOAT. And bro,
Enzo said, "Who is this?"
He said, "Call me Mr. GM of the year because I'm in the playoffs."
But hey, man, this is a dime. This is a dime.
It is a
You
dime.
know, Enzo just runs, puts his hands out, ball lands. That's it. Now we got the Ducks. These are not the good. So these ain't the throws you want to write home about.
Wah, wah, wah.
Man, starting it off with CC, brother. I don't know what happened, man. These last 2 weeks, it were rough.
Now we know why Matt's QB.
I hope that was the last handoff you gave him with the option.
No. No wonder they
Well,
needed
remember,
Suazo
they're
as a
watching
tier
from
6.
home now.
That's why they needed a Suazo as a tier 6. The Cardinals in the Mamba Bowl.
Chill.
Damn, that's
They
bad. That's
have
pretty bad. That's pretty
JD,
bad.
bro.
Yeah, and really quick, I don't think any of these throws were like ducks in terms of fluttering around. They were just some really bad throws, man, that you're like, whoa, what was this?
No, when Petey makes this cut,
Yeah, no, this is PD to Enzo again, but not the right type of throw. Enzo has jewels kind of big by like a yard, but
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
no, he must have seen something he liked on the sidelines because that's where he threw it.
I like letting my receivers think they have an open route, and then I just pounce on them at the end.
yeah,
They're already right there.
I don't know if that worked, but I think it worked on PD, not on Enzo, because PD didn't know who to
Hey,
throw the
that's
ball to.
all that matters. As
He
long
was
as
throwing
I'm
to
in
the
the
people
quarterback's
sitting on the
head.
sideline.
Here we got Patterson, my
Patterson.
man. I think you were just trying to go home. You were throwing that to the parking lot. I don't know what you were trying to do here.
Oh no, baby, what you doing?
Oh my goodness, where did that go?
The expression after the play says it all. It's like you're not Kevin. Kevin threw that for a touchdown earlier.
Dax
They
is
drew up the
so-
same play. Kevin can't throw it, so Pat will.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think Dax is up there in terms of athleticism, but I don't know if he's that athletic.
No. He would have had like another reverse Lewis gift going into the trees and another duck.
And I hate to do it to my man Willie, but I think he thought they were like in the middle, like in the 30, and he was trying to warm up coming in the fourth. Because that man threw it right over second base into the baseball field.
Or he got the wrong ball. This one didn't have had too much hair in it.
I don't know. I think they were using Baca's ball. And Baca runs his ball.
I don't know. Buccaneers,
like
Brady,
Eddie.
Deflate Gate. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I don't.
To not
Yes,
score on the
who-
Cardinals. To not score the Cardinals on week 4. Like, come on. They were giving out touchdowns like a hooker on a
I can't tell who I don't know if he's trying to throw it to Timmy, but it's like Timmy's not gonna go up and get a ball. So I don't know if it's Timmy.
No, we already
I
know
don't
that
know.
Timmy's not going to go up, get a ball. Jordan showed us that. I'm sorry, bro. I'm
Hey,
going
man,
to.
there you go, fellas. Those were the dimes.
Those are the
ducks.
dimes and those are the ducks. I'm sorry if you guys made the cut on the far end.
PD, hey, you made both, man. You can't complain.
Yeah.
You can't complain.
The
You
best
made,
of
you
both
made both
worlds.
sides of it.
He was 42 and 22 on this week's episode. What is it again? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Numbers don't, baby.
All right, so we're moving on with the segment, gentlemen. And for this, we are going to lead up to one of the most controversial members of DD this year. Could have been because of his injury, could have been because of his versatility, his affinity for the other league, or the fact that he just did not respond to Joanne's messages for God knows how many weeks. Without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, the leader of the Dolphins, and he has a very important game on May 15th, starting off in the playoffs against the Vikings. Without further ado, the one and only Mr. Eddie.
Eddie, my man. What's up? How's it going, brother?
What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's up, brother?
Hey, it's a treat to have you on, man. It really is. You know, DD hasn't heard a lot from you. I'm glad you came back to the chat. You know, you're a little bit more active. You know, I can appreciate that because you do bring a little different spice to it. You know,
Kevin and I were getting bored in our side chat, so I figured.
Who? You and who?
Kevin.
Me and Kevin were getting bored in our side chat, so I had to hop back into the main chat.
Damn, man. So let's talk about it, bro. Let's talk about it. Week 2, you beat the Ravens when we were on top. You stop our undefeated season, and then it was your third game, no, against the Falcons, or your second game?
It was the last drive of the third game.
What happened? I saw the play. You pulled up,
brother. This age, brother. That's what happened, man. No, whatever. It's like anything else, man. That's what this league is fun for, right? It's like we're all old and washed up. I've been like a couple of weeks before that, battling a groin injury, and shit just lingers. It lingers like this when we're old, and one step in the sand trap on the cursed field 3, and
yeah, man, that was rough. That was rough that week.
I think it took out 3 quarterbacks against the Falcons on that field. Me, Johan, and I think Tony told me they took out a 3rd quarterback on that field. I don't remember who it was though.
Ooh, what other quarterback got hurt? No other quarterback got hurt.
No, not replaced. Like the guy had to come off for the game or something. I'll say whatever. That's what I think someone told me that. Maybe not.
No, I think that was the same field that the Seahawks lost their boy week 1.
Oh, James, that's what it was.
I think he pulled his hammy. He pulled his hammy.
No, James pulled it in field 2, but then they lost Anthony V in week 3.
Yes, that's what it was. It was the Seahawks, and it was
First game.
Yeah. So all right. So what happens? You were 2-0 at that point, no?
3-0. That was the 3rd game. We were up 3-1.
Yeah, you were gonna win that game. Okay, so what happened? It's your body. You feel it pop, or you feel it pull, whatever the case. What's going on? You freaking out? What?
So I knew, like I said, I had been a couple of weeks. I knew that like it was an issue, but I've never pulled a muscle in my life. Like never. Not in tackle, not in any other sport, not in flag. So when it happened, I was like, fuck, that's bad. But it was 3rd down. We were on the 15-yard line, and we needed one more touchdown to score. So I was like, I'm gonna finish the fucking game. Try to put it in, whatever.
You're that type of guy. You're definitely not.
No, pero I tried the next play, and then like right when I threw it, I was like, oh, I mean, whatever. I doubled over in pain. But there was like 16 seconds left in the game, una bobería or something like that. So the guys held it down for the last little drive or whatever. And I just said, like, I got the PT on my team. So I consulted with the PT.
You gotta sit this out.
And,
I know.
But whatever, we talked about it. I tried to walk around, see what it felt like. And then like within 30 seconds, I knew that like I couldn't walk on it or anything like that. So I sat my ass down. Shout out to PD, who eventually helped me get my cleats off because I couldn't do it by myself. But we played the Bills after that, and then
that was a bit of a shit show.
The tier 2 MVP who can do it all
No. He can do it all but throw because he's been on ducks before, so he can do
Hey,
it all.
listen,
Oh my.
It was from that game. It was from that game that he got the duck.
I'm gonna come back on that tip, and if I could cut you short, Perra, before you jump into the questions. One of the I don't know if you've been a fan of the show and if you watched the other episodes, but one of the things that I talked about in the scrimmages that I felt that you weren't getting fair due with the treatment that everyone was giving you in the league, because when I went to the scrimmage, all the other captains, they wanted to play with their boys. And you were the only captain that came up to me and told me, let's play. And we ran a lot of the plays together. You know, a lot of what you do, I could relate to because of the fact that that's sort of the same offense that Kevin runs. And I felt we gelled there now. And I came away from the scrimmage like, wow, this guy didn't play with his friends. He played with a bunch of randoms. And I put you on that list of like the 4 captains I wanted to play for going into the season. Then going into the season, then I see you screaming at Julio. I see you this, I see you that. You know, you won't answer, but I see you on the red zone. Everyone's taking jabs on you. You don't answer. Walk me through that. How can you be the same guy, but be both personalities? Though I will admit, it was very admirable as a captain, the way that you came and you advocated for your players on the chat. I don't think I didn't see any captain jump in the line of fire like you did for your players and the way you advocated. And the fact that honestly, I went and voted Julio because the way that you broke it down, I saw like, you know what, if it's not Dusto, it has to be this guy. But can you shed some light on how you are both those guys? And this is your platform. Tell us, give us a piece of your mind. This is not the hot seat. I'm not trying to take Chris's job. I'm not trying to take Chris, the flag god's job. I'm not making you uncomfortable, but I want to know more about you because I felt like I knew a part of you, and then throughout the way that the season transpired, it was different, or you were portrayed different.
Right.
But just the fact that you just played through injury, you got your team in the playoffs, and you're sitting pretty.
So I think 3 things to respond to that. First of all, Angel, you're doing a great job of trying to get that DDSP's hosting job. I see it. I see you working through it here. No, but to answer your question, I think 2 things. One, I don't think it's 2 different personalities. I think that the guys that have known me for a while know that like I'm gonna like be super tough on the guys that I have confianza with, like too tough. Admittedly, I know that. I'm
100%.
I'm a psychopath, like on the field. It's like my biggest flaw.
But it's also, I would say, it's one of your greatest strengths.
But I am like, I'm gonna love my teammates and my boys as hard as I ride them during the games too, and that's why I'm as vocal. I try to be whatever. Like I try to be as vocal as I can be to hype them up because. And I talk about this outside of like the Julio MVP context too. Like a lot of my guys, like when I play with Sports Manias, catch flack for or don't get the credit they deserve because people just hear me bitching at them all the time, right? And like that's when I get mad at myself because I'm like, fuck, I should just do it quietly in the huddle, and then no one's gonna give Ant shit because I'm always yelling at Ant, you know. Ant's a beast, bro. And I think I'm glad that after the first 2 weeks, people are seeing like, oh my God, this guy's a baller now.
Yes,
because Ant's been playing with me at like a Top Gun level, I think since he was 21, maybe even 20. I think he couldn't even drink yet when he first started playing with us.
You guys don't drink much, so.
I mean, he's still a Mojon, really. He's still a Mojon, you know. And he goes up, and he's like, I count on him to do like a lot for us. So when I see people like giving him a hard time or giving Julio a hard time, you know, or any of my guys, like that's when I feel bad because I'm like, man, that's part of that's on me because I'm always like giving them such a hard time. And it's like everything else, and that transitions like to the next point I was gonna say with some of the shit I was getting. I think people don't know someone. And then they hear something repeatedly, like whether it's someone talking shit about someone or someone hyping someone up, if you hear other people that you know start to say it repeatedly, or if you just hear the same thing over and over again, and you say, well, coño, they must be true. So like Angel, to your point, like you met me, you had a good experience with me, and you're like, oh, I like this guy, I want to play for him. But then people, whether it's to fuck around or whether it's because it makes good content or whether it's because they actually believe that, start to whatever, they say shit and you're like, coño, you know what? I pick up on that. This guy is a fucking psychopath. Maybe he's not such a nice guy. And whatever, you know, it is what it is. I've always said that the guys that know me, like, or whatever, talk to me outside the field, know that, like, that is definitely contained to within the sidelines and between the whistles. And I try my best to limit it. I'm 29 years old. I've yet to succeed in toning it down, but you know, it is what it is. And then when it came to Done Deal,
that's one of the things that makes you you.
When I appreciate that. When it came to Done Deal, it was like fuck, I'm the new guy. I got all these fucking people ganging up on me. This is not a good impression and all this shit. And I was like, you know what? Let me just take a step back, let it all play out. Like, it will all work itself out, and it did. And then, you know, the last thing I'll say on this is, and that's why I was excited about Done Deal, and it's why I love Flag so much, is because there's so many guys. Ant's a perfect example. Really, most of my teammates. So Sportsmanias is made up of half the guys. Let's say we're 8 or 9 in total, usually on the roster. Half the guys are guys that I grew up playing tackle football with my whole life, like all the way back to Pop Warner days, or Flag at the Big Five when we were 7 or 8 years old. We went to pre-K, elementary, and high school together. Then you got Crego, who basically taught me how to play flag football. He was my junior high coach at Belen, tackle football coach at Belen. And then you got the other half is dudes that I met through Flag, and those guys have become like some of my best friends. You know, like we got one of our guys' wedding and more of their weekend, and the whole team's gone, right? So those guys all become family. But then on top of that, you make like so many friends that you hang out with outside of Flag, and they become people that you talk to more than almost anyone else, right? Because like I always say,
our lives revolve around Flag to a certain point.
It's crazy.
100%.
I always say flag football is like this crazy subculture that if you're a part of it, it's the biggest, coolest thing in the world. But if you're not, and you try to explain it to someone who's on the outside, they're like,
they don't get it. They don't get it.
Yeah.
¿Qué?
You don't.
Football con banderitas? What are you talking about, dude? Like,
salsa dancers with a football.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm very appreciative of that aspect of Flag and getting to travel or meet people. I know I never would have met any of you guys if it wasn't for Flag. Like, our paths very likely would never have crossed in life, you know?
Yeah.
God knows I'm the, what is it? Sweater around my neck and the tie, whatever. So
The preppy.
Eddie, I gotta ask you a question. Healthy, Eddie, 100%. Well, that's another thing. Will you be 100% for the playoffs?
Probably not. I'm gonna
not.
try to. I felt Saturday was the first day that I played. I obviously didn't run other than, you know, a little bit on defense just to make the other team rotate, covering a tier 5. But it was the first time I was able to throw for a full day without feeling pain. So I don't know, maybe.
Are you going to play?
That's a good sign.
Are you going to play in the Summer Showdown?
Yeah, I'm signed up.
Okay.
You got in? Because not everyone here got in. You got in?
Oh no, we didn't get in.
No.
No.
Matt, he went to sleep early.
Oh man.
He had extracurricular activities.
Oh man.
Now the last.
Hey, but you love to see it. You love to see it. Eddie coming in and he's already a DD lifer. Let's go.
Eddie, but let me ask you.
You want to know? One second. You want to know where I signed up from the bathroom at Los Santos?
Oh no, you
I los
didn't.
altos. Yes, yes,
No,
I did.
you didn't.
Yes, I did. From the bathroom.
That's why you couldn't. That's why you could barely move on Saturday. Don't blame it on your groin. You liar.
Venga,
Now-
venga.
Let me ask you one question, because everyone has that guy. When you see the schedule, when you lace him up, when you step on the field, and you make eye contact with him, who's the one guy that you got to get that dub on?
I mean, the easy answer is Peaky, just because
No.
whatever.
No, forget Peaky.
No, that's not an easy answer.
No, it is. It is because him and I, whatever. I've been playing.
Go to the library. Give us a name.
Peaky.
Peaky?
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, it's Peaky.
Now, in another light, in terms of complementing their skill set, so not in the competitive realm, who do you think emulates your skill set? So looking at the new
David.
I agree.
That was quick.
Yeah, him and I have talked about it. We play the exact same game.
Yep.
which is
Except for the fact the vocal. Like, he doesn't talk.
The what?
We want him to talk more.
Only to Daniel. Only to Daniel.
You said what? You said David doesn't talk? Go watch a clutch game with Big David playing quarterback and tell me little
Yeah,
David
because
doesn't
he's not
talk.
quarterback
Come
yet.
on.
I don't know.
David is
Ask
vocal, but
Lando.
not
Ask
to that intensity that. Eddie has.
David talks trash. David talks trash to opposing players, because I've been on the opposite end of that this year, and I've had to be like, damn, David. I think like, damn, like I didn't see that side of you. So
That's one thing I will say. I'm too busy yelling at my own guys. To
Yeah.
We know.
Let's reel it back. Going into the playoffs, you're the 8th seed, so you sneaked in, no? Because you sneaked in because of a tie.
No, we went into week 4 as the 4 or the 5 seed. Won the first game, and then who did we play the second game? We lost the second game to the Raiders.
Yes.
Which we were pissed about, because we thought that if we won that game, we had a good chance at sneaking in, right? Well, definitely getting a bye. And we thought, shit, if we're 2-0 and we win these last 2, then we have a chance, because you guys had lost the first 2. We said, shit, we can sneak in and get the 2 seed, and then maybe even get.
So you had that head to head.
But then we lost. Then we lost to the Raiders in game 2. We lost to the Raiders in game 2, and one of us went to go check at the table, and they told us that we had clinched already, and it was like one of those things where it was like, well, shit, we're not going to get the 2 seed. We just clinched. We came out flat in game 3, ended up losing game 3, ended up losing game 4, but we knew that we had already clinched at that point, so we were playing for seeding and whatever.
Hey, you're in the dance, as you know. You're in the dance. Obviously, you know, even I think my opinion, I don't think you'll be 100%. You play the Vikings. Vikings are the 5th seed. What you think? Obviously,
are they picking up a 5? Do we know yet?
They better.
They have to. We're gonna put pressure on that. There's no way they cannot play with the 5.
They better.
Because if the 49ers have to play with 2 tier 5s.
Angel, por favor, if I have to hear you say one more time, let's give you a 5.
Took off my hat for that one.
Bro,
Put it back on.
listen, I did not create this narrative. Hey, anything that would have gotten Jordan the MVP and does so the best tier 2, okay? Can you blame me? Can you blame me?
Not at all.
All right, so wait, this is very important, and I want you to be 100% honest. Okay. We know you couldn't vote for Julio at tier 2. Who'd you vote for MVP? What was your ballot?
David answered. You have to answer.
I'm gonna answer. I voted. I'll tell you right now.
While you're checking, I know who'd you vote tier 2, because there was only one vote.
I didn't vote tier 2.
Hey, look again, one more time.
Not, bro, come on, man. You voted for MVP.
Notecreo.org. That's crazy.
I voted
But Eddie,
David,
how do you not know who your MVP pick is?
I voted. I don't remember what the order was for 2 and 3. I voted David, Lewis, and Peaky.
Lewis. Okay.
Lewis was my third.
Angel, pretend you didn't hear that, Angel. Pretend you didn't hear that. We don't want to get into it. Just ignore what he said. Exactly. Close your eyes. Little Utah moment. Just ignore what Eddie just said. You know, it's been a long day. If you can tell, I don't know what he's doing.
Angel's mad because I didn't say Jordan.
Yeah.
Angel, you had only You didn't know I'm on a 49ers just trying to drag you guys through the mud tour since I refereed your game. I'm just playing,
brother, I wanted to rip your head off. I wanted to rip your head off because I felt that cost us the game. Because it was you have this when you do so, like, you know what your tell. You have this smirk.
First of all, I don't
have this smirk after the fact, like
no, because I know I'm gonna catch hell for it. But what am I gonna do? Like,
bro, if a man gets pushed off and he establishes himself and he still
the dusty play. We're talking about the dusty play?
Yes, dog. He ran.
You just said if someone does that, you have to give him a call, and then you go and you don't give Dusty that call.
No. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. We weren't going to get into it, but let's get into it.
No. I don't want to make the segment about the 49ers about me. It's one of the things that I love about this show is that I try to keep my bias at the door outside of the fact that Jordan should have been MVP and Dusso should have won tier 2. And I voted for Julio knowingly that he was going to be the guy that was right there on Dusso. And the fact that you didn't vote, it kind of hit me in the gut. But I still appreciate you for coming on. I feel that everyone got to see a side of you that outside of you screaming at Julio on Saturdays, we don't get to appreciate. And I'm happy that you're going to be playing in the Summer Showdown. I hope your groin gets better so you could be playing in the playoffs, because I don't want any asterisks when I get my star. And the fact that you're going to be here and you're here to stay. And I'm glad that you were completely frank with us and
for sure. No, this has been fun, guys. This segment's super cool. So I'm glad you guys put it together. And
thank you, Eddie.
Tournament's gonna be dope. CP sent a message in our group chat today. Apparently, there's never been a team that goes from, what do you say, 8? I think lowest seed for playoffs to make it through the gauntlet to win the championship.
That's a lot of games.
Fins up, baby. Fins up.
That's a lot of games. That's a lot. Those are beautiful jerseys.
I love it.
None with their name on it. Have a good night, brother.
Thank you, Eddie. Cheers, man. Brother.
Dale, Eddie. Thank you, man.
Peace out, brother.
What a guy. What a guy. That was a good segment. That's a good segment. And moving on, gentlemen, we're going to go on to talk about the thing that surprised you the most. Coming into the season, you know, as men, as athletes, as football players, the ranking system, you know, we're talking about it, best tiers, best MVPs, but the fact that we have all the metrics, all the games played, all the stats, we can kind of look back. Hindsight is 2020. And what we're about to do right now is talk about a little bit of the tiers. Who surprised us and who disappointed us? And with that said, we're going to start off with tier 1. And who better than the one who knows all the intricacies of Dundee? And I'm not talking about myself or Andres or Joan. I'm talking about the main man here, Mr. Jose Perra Guerra. So, Perra, tell us, tier 1.
So the captains.
The captains.
We know Enzo's the captain slayer, but captains that surprised me the most.
Ay, diablo.
I'm trying to keep it to 1, but honestly, Peaky and Mo surprised me. I didn't think Peaky was going to be DD material in terms of adapting to the lack of talent, which, let's call it what it is, there is, compared to, you know, his Top Gun team and stuff like that.
No, and especially after the Mambo tournament.
But exactly, and then he didn't have a necessarily good showing there, so he impressed me a lot. You know, like I said last week, my vote prediction was the winner of that Seahawks-Niners game at 8 o'clock was gonna go 4-0. Biggie made me sound very smart. They went 4-0, and like I said, I thought that captain was gonna get my vote, and Piggy got my vote for MVP. But Piggy definitely surprised me. I mean, 10-6 with a bye with 4 players an entire season. switching teams every single season. It's a lot to be said about that. And then Mo surprised me. Week 1 wasn't a good showing. I know they had an injury. And then week 2, he was missing. I was like, oh, this guy's not DD material. You know, he's kind of bailing on his team. He didn't say it going into the season. But then he comes back week 3 and week 4. They went 6-2. They had a shot at the playoffs. Showed me up in terms of, he showed me a lot on offense. I had never seen Mo play offense. So I wasn't high on that side of the ball. So he definitely surprised me. And then on the other side, Baca surprised me for the wrong reasons. You know, as a quarterback, captain, that's a huge advantage in the deal. I wasn't fairly, you know, fond of his strategy to go with 2 tier 2s and 2 tier. And I think it showed. 7-9 might say otherwise. They were a game out of the playoffs, but I don't think they were ever a team, and I don't think he ever himself like took over a game or took like leadership or ownership as to be like, hey, I'm Baca, I'm here. Because I think Baca's a good player. I think he can do it pretty much. I mean, the guy can do it all, essentially. I personally don't think he's great at anything per se, but he can do it all. And in DD, like I said, being a captain that can throw, and he was playing quarterback, is a huge advantage. And I hope he learned. I'm hearing he doesn't want to be a captain. I hope he knows he's going to be a captain forever. Indeed. But I hope he learned, and I hope he learned everything or a lot from this season, because at least for me, it was a bit disappointing.
Is Baca 100% every down quarterback in DD, or do you or do you think that he should be a quarterback that plays the handoff game, a la Peaky Devin?
I mean, listen, the handoff game is always going to eat, I believe, in Dundee if it's done correctly. I mean, it's unstoppable, in my opinion. Baca is very mobile. Baca has a great arm. He can make all the throws. I think part of being a captain is strategy, you know, in terms of drafting and all that. And I don't think going top heavy is always the right choice. He has the advantage where he is playing quarterback, so he's able.
And we know that. We know that not every captain is made equally, and not every captain can win with 2 tier 5s, especially if he's not playing quarterback.
So we're gonna move on to tier 2.
Tier 2. Tier 2. Biggest surprise for me, and I'm gonna go with Timmy. I'm gonna go with Timmy because Timmy was portrayed to me as middle of the tier 2 guy. Doesn't take the game seriously, loves to drink, party animal. That's what the emphasis on Timmy was coming into the season, not the fact that he might not be concentrated or focused on a week in, week out basis, but the fact that the proof is in the pudding. Timmy gets traded from the Vikings, and the Vikings don't get any better because they traded for defense, and they just sort of stayed where they've been playing at the whole entire season, outside of week 1. Timmy gets switched and gets sent to the worst team, arguably one of the worst teams in the league outside of the Falcons. And they put up a 6-2 run, which one of those weeks, their captain was not there. And the fact that Timmy's able to put that, I really think that Timmy's going to be one of those guys that should be, that now that we're heading towards more teams, more captains, Timmy's moving up in that tier 2 rating, where maybe a Baca and a Timmy combination, where you got that handoff game, given that maybe Baca plays a better offensive game than Mo, would make more sense. But I really think that when you look at tier 2, there's no need to talk about Dusty. There's no need to talk about Polly, because we know what they bring to the game. But the surprise for me was Timmy, just given what they said about him and what he was able to do on the field.
Did anyone disappoint you?
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. It's Marshall.
Okay.
It's Marshall. I was told, and mind you, and this could be just pure ignorance on my behalf. I was sold that Marshall was this guy, and I see it because there was plays where I would see him. The fact that this man he could turn on a dime and hit full stride. I would love to see Marshall on the right team, but it says a lot about him. The fact that, listen, this is a game where if you're humble and you listen to the other guys, you can learn. Just going from the scrimmages, and you're taking it from a guy who watches football on Saturday, watches football on Sundays, played football his whole life. I've never played flag to this level. And I talked to Jordan, I talked to Dusty, I've talked to you, Pedro, I've talked to so many players, and the way that you guys talk to Drew, I've talked to Alfarito and Patterson, the way that they just break down the plays, they break down the scheme, they've helped me progress week after week as a player. I just can't see somebody with the physical ability that Marsh has not be a captain. I think he sold himself short, not playing week 4. Don't know what the reason was. The fact that he wasn't there, you had players make the sacrifices they did, kind of left a bad taste on everyone's mouth. Kind of skewed the playoff picture a bit, because had the Falcons been full force, they might have come out with a better record, you know. And we want to see guys the same way we want everyone voting. We want everyone playing all the games. You know, for some of us, we don't play Sundays, we don't play Mondays, we don't play Wednesdays. It's just Saturdays. And the fact that, you know, all this extracurricular activities are going on is because of how much we appreciate and esteem this league. So for me, biggest disappointment, given all the hype and the little production, given his athletic ability, has to be Marsh for tier 2. Okay, moving on. Tier 3, Matt, what you got for us?
For tier 3, this is my surprise. I have a 2, but there's one I do want to talk about. And some people might not like this one, but it's Kevin.
In a good way, right?
In a good way.
He's
But as a positive?
As a positive.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. We all know, and as much as when I see him throw, I cringe, because he's got this thing where he does like this, and I don't know how he does it, but he decided one throw a game, fine. He dropped to tier 3. Okay, he dropped to tier 3. And what he was able to do now, I don't know if it was because people were scared they had Pat and Timmy on the other side, and then it was Dax the next time, and maybe they gave more slack to Kevin. Even if that is the case, he took advantage of it. He knows football. He knows flag football. He knows what to do. He's got good pace. He knows how to get open. You can talk about his route running, his hands. Either way, the guy was up there for tier 3. You know, I think he came in 3rd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was second in touchdowns. He was top 10 in touchdowns.
No, he was first in a lot of those statistical categories. He ate.
Kevin's a stud, bro. He's a stud.
And that's the thing, because in my opinion, he could have won best tier 3. It could have gone either way to any one of those top 3. Right? JD won it, and then Daniel, and then it was Kevin. It was
unfair. It was unfair that a QB fell into that tier and into that conversation, because obviously the QB is going to garner more attention.
That's a different conversation, because I think all the QB should have been tier 3, including myself. But that's a different segment.
Sheesh.
I'm just being honest, right? Because
it's a fair point. I agree with you.
It's a fair point. We've talked about it on the show. It's a fair point.
So he surprised me. He surprised me because I didn't expect him to play as well as he did, and he played well. He played well. The other surprise, and not to toot your own horn, Julian, but the way I saw Jules step up on defense this year, because his offensive stats weren't as good as last year, but your offense last year was insane.
He had a problem on offense, and he had a problem on offense. And its name was Lewis.
I don't think that's a problem at all.
No, it's a problem because he's gonna take your stats away, because that man is a baller.
Brother, you are not covering Lewis.
Certified baller.
Yes, he is. Nobody's covering Lewis.
Yeah, so the fact that you were still able to put those numbers on offense with Lewis playing on the opposite side of the field, it's a testament to
if I had a Lewis on my team, I mean, come on, guys.
No, you had a Lewis on your team.
I have a Lewis on my team. That's my cat, boy.
So Jules really surprised me on defense, because on offense we know he's got those flashy plays, right? He was a top play one week where he went up, got the ball in there.
I should be a tier 4 though. I should be a tier 4.
No, tier 5. But
hey, you guys leave my tier alone. Who was your disappointment, Vic?
Okay,
Who was your disappointment?
No. Wait. He wasn't done about me.
Oh my God, this guy! You missed last week's show, and now you won your ego stroke. Vic,
Let's
what's
go.
your
Let's go.
disappointment?
Come on. Let the man speak.
Let a brother finish, right? Don't make me take off the hat. So I'm already going to become a sticker. So it was just on the defensive end where Jules surprised me this year, because last year it was he can play offense, but he can't play defense. He stepped it up a little bit more this year than he did last year.
As everybody knows, last year I couldn't pull a flag for if my life depended on it.
100%. Yep.
Now things have changed.
So that surprised me. I'm glad to see that. So Kevin and Jules, my surprises in a good way. The underwhelming for me was Ant Nunez. Ant Nunez. I don't know. I mean, I know he was out week 4 because he was hurt, so I don't want to hold that against him, right? It wasn't like I love Marshall. He was my cap 1 year. I played with him. I really enjoyed playing with him. I don't know what happened. So with him, why he didn't show up. So I can see why that can be a disappointment, along with Kareem as a tier 1.
I just think that Ant didn't get a fair shake. He fell into a team with no quarterback.
Yeah, he was dealt 2 bad hands because initially he was drafted to Kareem, Marshall, and him.
No quarterback.
So great offense, but they needed a quarterback.
Then he gets traded.
But here's my thing.
Oh wait, he gets traded to the Steelers, and then Joan goes down.
Yes.
So and then the last week of the season, he gets hurt. So I don't know. I don't know. I think you're being a little too tough on that.
But here's why I'm being a little tough. Here's why. Okay, so week 2, it's not his fault. I get it. Week 3, you know, again, they had a stellar team week 3, right? With Devin and Lulu, and that team was supposed to be ballers. 0-4.
Okay.
So in week 4, I'm not holding it against him, and
Yeah.
week 2, I'm not, because you didn't have Joan. But I'm looking at week 1 and week 3, and the reason why I hold week 1 against him, I think Ant Nunez is great, but you spoke earlier, even in that dime that Tony had at tier 5, that's a good pickup. He has Kareem, Marsh, and Ant on offense. Ant Nunez knows plays. I've played with him. He can call plays. What was happening? I don't understand. How I just make the quick throw, and granted,
I'll give you that. You're right.
Yeah. I can't defend the indefensible.
And listen, and tier 3 was tough. Anyways, I think, in my opinion, tier 3 was take your pick. Do you want IQ or do you want athleticism? Everyone was pretty even.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, and so that was the only reason why. Again, it's no knock against Ant Nunez, because I would love to play with him. I think the guy's a baller. I think he's great for this league. I think he's well-rounded player, especially for done deal. But I'm just looking at week 1 and week 3, and I didn't see anything.
Okay, fair point. Tier 4, Jules, what you got?
Here we go.
Best and worst.
You know, tier 4 is pretty stacked. Let me tell you. You know, there's some guys there that shouldn't be tier 4 from what I'm looking at. Like Pedra, one of them.
Nah.
Anyways, we'll see if playoff P shows up. So that's the next segment. So biggest surprise. I'm gonna go with my own teammate, Gabriel. I didn't know how he was as a player going in. You know, others in the league did know who he was. You know, obviously before he was more into sports, I guess. But I had no idea. Just saw this stud, great fashion guy. You know, great looking guy. That's my dude. And he just fucking balled, bro. You know, every time he had the opportunity, he put the sauce on you, man. I don't think there was any tier 4 that could cover Gabe, like any, you know. That guy was running wheels, running outs, doing bombs, and the ball was going into his hands, and he was making the play.
He definitely caught a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah.
He didn't catch me by surprise after the first couple of games. I was like, yo, this guy's a real deal. All right. So I mean, there's other surprises here. I mean, everyone knows Manu. A lot of people don't coming into this season, but that guy came in week 3 and freaking balled, bro. He balled. I had to cover him the last game, and dude, he put a run for my money.
Yeah, he's a little shifty.
He's a little shifty. Yeah. So biggest disappointment. Flag God himself, the walking hot seat.
Ooh. Why? I
Why?
know his
Why?
stats are not there, but
No, you're
Stats-
gonna beat
I'm
on a
not
hurt
going to
man.
talk about the stats. I'm going to talk about the first season, which was my first season last season, that we played against each other. Boy, was he cooking. And the games that we played against each other, he looked very good. Now, this season, it was just not there. I don't know if
I
it was
think
because
he got
Julio
hurt in
obviously is the main focal point of that
got hurt in
offense.
he got hurt in the Mamba Bowl. He came into the season, was playing hurt, got re-aggravated his injury, had a hurt quarterback. They
I mean, it's tough. But who else? Who else? I mean, like I said, I think like Joel
Bro.
said, tier 4 was stacked.
Tier 4 is stacked. Tier
if
4
you
is
had to
stacked.
give me another
Look-
disappointment for tier 4, who would it be?
Yeah, who would be your second option?
I don't want to hear Chris P, dog. I don't want to hear Chris P. Who would it be?
Hey, that's this man's disappointment, man.
Look, no.
You're gonna double down on it. If you're gonna double down on it, let it go.
On a personal level, my dog, Jeremy.
Okay.
Okay, he didn't show up for week 4.
And
Well,
that's why. That's why.
The team knew, so I'll give him that. Everyone knew he was missing.
Okay, so I didn't know. I didn't know
Okay,
that.
I didn't know because normally that stuff's announced in advance.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
No, but I
But
mean,
yeah, I can agree with both of us. Even when Jeremy did play, he did leave a little. At least for me, he left a little bit to be desired. Not a lot.
but it's there. Jeremy has it. He has it there.
I'm a believer.
We played the Falcons. We played the Falcons with Jeremy playing QB, and I just didn't see it. If I had to go based off this season, I just didn't see it at all.
I don't think QB is his position, but I agree with Jules. I think if I had to pick someone, I don't know if I would have gone CP. I think I probably honestly might have gone Jeremy first.
Okay. That's fair.
Well, I singled out CP because he said I was dog water on defense.
That's not the purpose of this show, Jules, and you know better. And with that said, we're gonna go on to tier 5, Perra.
Tier 5. Listen, tier 5 was stacked, man. I think
biggest surprise.
Let me start. There's no disappointment in tier 5. Honestly, no one, shit the bed. No one did like, oh damn, this guy's no one. But surprises in terms of people that I hadn't seen play and stuff like that. Angel, I've said it. I don't think you're a tier 5, but then it comes to like, okay, if he's a tier 4, who from tier 4 are you moving down?
Right.
So
Let's see.
You can't, because I don't think other than Alec, I don't know who I would take away from tier 4 to move you up.
Right.
So it's tough. Same thing with Marin. I don't think Marin.
Alec won best tier 5 last season, right?
Yeah, but with Joan, I don't think Alec can that. I think Angel can. But it goes to the same argument. Can Angel be your 4th best player? Can you count on him?
Right.
Well, I mean, look, not saying anything, but when we played you, yes, it was the last game and we were gassed, but playing you guys 4 hard, you, Jordan, Dusty, and Chris J, it was pretty tough. I mean, you're a solid tier 5, brother. I mean,
exactly. I think you solidify yourself to be. I don't think you should ever go past the 4th pick in tier 5 again, in my opinion. Given who joins and whatnot, but because of the simple fact that you're one of the more mobile tier 5s, and like Dusty said, you're just learning and you're a sponge. You're willing to listen and learn. And then Roger surprised me a little bit.
Yes.
Roger, listen, Roger's been a good friend of mine, for a couple of years now. And he's always, he loves to talk. I can do this, I can do that. And I saw him in the tournament. I was like, okay, this guy, he's not as bad as I thought. He has some hands to him. And throughout the season,
who did Roger play with in the tournament?
He played with Baca, with the Eagles.
With me, Baca, Nick, and Willie.
Yeah, the Eagles.
Wait, that was the Eagles team?
Yeah.
It was Willie, Baca, Nico, Roger?
No, not Nico. Not Nico.
No, my Nico, Kiruga, the one with the bad knees.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then and you guys but you guys lost in the playoffs, or it was like because of a tiebreaker or a last
we lost to Lou in a critical game.
Okay. Yeah, because wow. because seeing Willie
But
play,
it's also a different game. It was 5-man, so it's
it was
it's a
5-man. It
little
was 5-man.
different,
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
but I mean, he surprised me there, and then throughout the season, you know, I think honestly, in my opinion, I would have to sit down and look at all the stats, but I think it's up to you too, in terms of overall value at tier 5 for best tier 5 this season, because you got the sack, you were rushing the whole season, and you got a pretty fair amount of sacks. I think.
No, I only had 1 sack. I only had one
What
sack.
about Harold though?
From when I played Harold, I know it was our last game, and listen, it was week 3. It was hot, man. Me and Harold were just pretty much like hugging each other the whole time. Like, bro, let's just make sure these guys do their thing. We'll keep ourselves entertained. Let them go at it, because, I mean, Victor said it. I can play defense. I'm always going to be there. And I think Harold is very good offensively. Harold rushed me in that game. It was like I never rushed, just because I never had to move. He never like bothered me. And like, again, he definitely surprised me, because after week 1, I was like, okay, damn, like, who is freaking Harold? I never got to see the Rams play, but I was like, damn, they went 3-1 with a tier 5 on the field at all times. Like, this guy has to be somewhat legit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just overall, like, Roger was playing great defense out there. I mean, I played him twice this season, so I definitely got to see it, you know, firsthand. And then I played Angel, you know, I played you guys the Niners 1. But just, I've seen you play, and I've seen you grow as a player. And I think you two guys, in my opinion, with Harold, you know, Mendoza balled out offensively.
Yeah, he did. He did.
You know,
I think it's a 2-man race. I think it's a 2-man race between it kills him that he couldn't play week 4. I really thought it was a 2-man race between Roger
and
Manny.
Yeah.
I had a great week 1, but then it was just, there was too many things playing against me. Just like what you said, the lack of IQ in terms of knowing the schemes. I've always played offense. I've never played defense. So the fact that I had to learn, especially learn 4s, because I've never played 4s. So I'm going to take myself completely out of the equation. I really think that it's Rodgers' tier to win, because every time I looked at, because it's not just statistical performance, but it's what did you do to propel your team? And that team, for some reason, was always shorthanded, and their tier 5 was balling out, whether it was Manny or whether it was Roger. Both teams were shorthanded. Both tier 5s played balls to the walls. And I think the tiebreaker is the fact that Manny couldn't play week 4, which was extraneous circumstances, but I think it's Rodgers' tier to win.
Hey, and let me tell you something. I ref that game, Vikings versus Bills, and Roger in the huddle, he's a leader. That guy's vocal, and
he's a man.
Yeah,
the man.
Exactly.
He's a man.
Tier 1 bakery owner too.
Oh, hell yeah, tier 1 bakery owner. Of course, absolutely. Go debate your mother on it.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, gentlemen, that is our recap in terms of the best and the worst of each tier. Congratulations, tier 5. We didn't talk trash about you guys, including myself. So moving on, going into the playoff games. Take a breather. Let's talk about it. Who's your dark horse? Perra, who's your dark horse?
So
look at that schedule. Look at that schedule.
Yeah, I'm trying to see here what the bracket is looking like. I know who got the double buys. God, we're gonna hear that.
No, I was loud as hell in
That's
sports.
crazy.
Vikings, Dolphins.
That's crazy. I needed Peaky to lose against the Dolphins, but you know, as soon as I told Peaky, yo, I need you to lose, he's like, what?
I got you. Let me do the opposite.
Vikings, Dolphins.
That's a tough game for me to call. You know, Eddie, we don't know how high he's gonna. We don't know how healthy he's going to be.
It's the Eddie versus Andy game.
No, I don't think so. We got to see who they pick up at tier 5. We don't know who the tier 5 is going to be. That's a huge factor.
That's a huge factor. It sure is.
No, they have to. If they don't, that's bogus, in my opinion.
They don't have to. Let's be honest. No,
they have to. That's bogus.
But then they don't have it, and they don't have a tier 5, and they're going to give up that first drive at the
exactly.
At the no run
that's
zone.
Nothing. You give that up all day. One drive, that the rule needs a lot more extreme. It needs to mean a lot more. The offense needs to start their 4 straight drives, or or I mean, 4 short drives is a lot, but it needs to be something where it's that
Well,
big of a meaning.
at the bare minimum, it should be 2 drives because there's always going to be 2 instances where you're going to have the tier 5s on the field without your captain.
Exactly, man. Like
Or if you get ball first, the other team should get ball first and get it at the 5. That's another thing to think about too. If you don't have a tier 5.
So let's just say they're playing with Manny Chang or an equivalent, because that's what we expect the league to do.
I mean, it's tough. Honestly, I would probably pick the Vikings.
Dark horse.
I just no, not.
Oh, no,
no,
in this
looking at the
game.
game, looking at that game.
Oh, in this game,
Just
because
because
they got the ball first.
they got ball first, so that's huge. And then, kind of like I said against you guys, Jules and the Raiders. Obviously, you guys. Not that you guys have a little not more athleticism, but who's gonna be able to cover Dax and Kevin consistently? And then again, how healthy is Eddie? Because even healthy, I think I'm probably still taking Patterson at least 70-30 over Eddie offensively as a receiver. And then if Eddie's not healthy, I'm definitely taking Patterson over Julio. So it's
Vikings have to.
Yeah, I think Vikings. Right?
Vikings.
I think the only way Vikings don't win, it has to be that Andy has to, forget how to play
the shit game.
Yeah. And
Jets Raiders. And don't talk, Jules. Perra. Matt.
Jets Raiders. Honestly, I'm going with the Raiders. Not for anything, but I'm going with the Raiders. I don't know. I don't think everybody to cover Lewis.
Yeah, I know. But then again, we just learned Gabe is out. So who do they pick up? That's huge.
That's true.
That's unless you're messing with us. But
I didn't say anything.
Is Gabe? You said Gabe was out.
When?
Hey, buddy, we're recording this, so don't worry about it.
It's recorded. So we're gonna go backwards on the tape. You said Gabe's out.
So I don't know. It's
Hey, look, listen.
I got the Jets there.
Yeah, I think everybody healthy.
Listen,
I'm taking the Jets.
PD has shown us that he could put one game. He could dial the clock back and put in one game. Enzo knows that he put a big X on his back, that from here on out, every captain, when they go to pick him, they're going to think, wow, is this Judas who's going to trade the team away and leave me out of the playoffs a la Drew? So Enzo knows that if he does not get a star, everything he has done will have been for nothing. I think they dial it up for one game. I think Vikings and Jets were going to take it respectively in that bracket. And then it'll be the higher seed, which will be the Vikings versus the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And then the Jets versus the Ravens. Give me Ravens and Peaky. I still think the higher seeds take it. I think the seeding worked out. They worked out right, and then I'll bow out there because here come the 49ers. So then it'll be the Ravens against the Rams and the Seahawks versus the 49ers.
No, it'd be Rams against Seahawks.
Yeah,
Rams Seahawks, David versus Peaky.
Mm-hmm.
That one's tough, man, because I think both teams are going to be super, super even. And if I have to take Peaky over David.
Okay.
I have to, because I think
knowing that David gets the ball first.
Other than that, David needs to score four straight times. Otherwise, he's not winning that game. I don't see him being able to stop Peaky. Peaky has 3 tier 3s, and
Peaky won 4-3 against the Dolphins.
And the Peaky beat the Rams in week 3, 4-2, I think, going for hard. And they have a better team now. I think Danny's an underrated pickup. I think Danny's definitely.
But that kid played without a cleat. He played with one cleat.
Danny?
Us. Yeah. He played with one cleat against us. He ripped off the bottom sole of his cleats against us. And he played with one cleat for the half of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. It's
To
tough.
our defense, that game was 0-0 for about 10, 15 minutes. And then it became into a shootout. And it ended 3-2 Seahawks. Ernie had the game of his life. He caught a safety, which gave that 0.1.
Yeah.
And it kind of meant worthless for us to try to tie the game because then we would need to have 2 scores with a minute and a half left. Ernie had the game of his life. They got Randolph, they got Beaky. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I think the team.
if you give me Rams versus Seahawks, that's a great Super Bowl in the sense that the storylines, you got David, you got Beaky, you got 1 versus 2 in terms of MVP voting. Who's the better QB? I've been saying, we've had David on the show. I've been saying David's top 3. Beaky's definitely in that top 3. This is his first season in Done Deal.
Yes.
Yes.
Has a rook captain ever won it on his rookie season?
Joan.
David, Joan did, and so did David.
That would be a Mount Rushmore to be up with for Beaky.
Yeah.
And I think
a
man who has won every single thing at every level in flag football, I think this is going to be one that he wants, especially after what he
100%.
feels is that he got undershorted on the MVP.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give it to David. It's a 1-game scenario. He gets ball first. I think David wins.
David,
I got David going to the finals.
Jules, we're already here. We're already here. Seahawks. I've already have to accept where Matt and Perra took us here. So we're Seahawks Rams. Who do you got?
Honestly, if it wasn't my team going to the finals, that would be the exact Super Bowl I would have.
Yeah, but this is the semi.
David.
No, this is the final. No, it's the final. It's the final. It would be the
The final.
Seahawks Rams.
No,
Seahawks
this
Rams.
is not the final. See, Rams will play in the semis. It will be 1 versus 4.
1 versus.
Honestly, look, I think the fact that David has the ball first is a huge advantage.
That's why I said I think in a 1-game scenario, I think
And a 1-game single elimination, having the ball first, if it was, any other team.
if it was in the finals, I would have definitely picked Biggie because I think Biggie's able to not to adjust better than David, but listen, at the end of the day, that's why the NBA and in baseball, the better team wins because in a series, the better wins. Super Bowl, a team gets hot, they get there, they win it all. But in the finals, you got to win 2 out of 3.
Oh, so then that would mean the 49ers versus the Ravens in a semifinal. I get to play Perra one more time.
Yeah, sure. I don't know about that.
I want that matchup. I got a sticker after that last game. I want that matchup.
You might be playing the Raiders.
No te creo.
No, you guys would never play each other.
All right, we'll see.
It's impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's
Okay.
It's because the way that the seating works.
Then we'll play David.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think honestly, there's no way you can say or anyone can say that the Rams aren't the favorite going into it. They have to be.
They are. And the record, the 13 wins. The record shows it.
I think it's the Rams game to lose.
I wouldn't go that far. I think they're definitely the favorite going into it because I don't think they're the overwhelming favorite. Because if by you saying that it's their championship to lose, they're the overwhelming favorite.
I'm saying that. No, I'm not saying it in that sense because Peaky, he brings a lot to the game, and I'm not gonna say they match up well, but obviously having Peaky and his IQ, he's gonna dissect any team he plays, and obviously in a playoff format, that man can ball in playoff format.
No,
but I'm just saying the fact that David would have the ball first, it would be up to them, their game to lose technically because they're gonna be the ones with the errors. They mess up on that first drive, Beaky will take over.
Vic, what do you think?
I'm not saying the Rams can't adjust to it. I'm not saying the Rams can't adjust to it.
Vic, tú no tienes voz ni voto aquí. What is it?
I'm just chilling here. Can I just skip ahead really quick?
This guy, he doesn't even want to. Go, give it to us.
No, you're the only one without a dog in the race.
Okay, I personally come on, man. I got Dominic. I personally see Seahawks Ravens in the finals.
Seahawks what?
Seahawks Ravens in the finals.
I wish you could just fast forward this whole segment then. Jesus Christ, if that's what you're going to give us.
What you want me to tell? I see
All right, Seahawks Ravens. And who wins?
Peaky's resilience, man. I love David. David's a baller, but I just, and it's nothing against David. I just something Peaky, he's gonna take it. I think he's gonna take that and he's gonna make it to the finals and that's gonna be the storyline. The fact that he was able to take a team with 4 men every single week and make it to the finals, and then I love the 49ers. We've played you guys twice. We've tied. We're 1-1. Right, we beat you the first time. We beat us the second time. I've seen you guys progress and get better every week, but I think that the Ravens take advantage of the 2 tier 5s. And I know we've been saying it all year, but that offense, I'm sorry, but that offense is great. That offense is great because you have the tier 4 at quarterback. And on defense, I think, yeah, you guys can take advantage of it. But I all they need to do is make one stop, because I don't think that the 49ers will stop their offense. Now, if you guys don't, if you just score on every drive, sweet, obviously you're gonna win. But I don't think
so. You have Seahawks Ravens. Who wins the Super Bowl?
I think that's
it's a best 2 out of 3. So just remember that.
Seahawks Ravens 2 out of 3.
Seahawks Ravens would be the higher seed, so they'd get the ball 2 times out of the 3.
No, I think we get ball every single game.
Are you sure?
Best 2 out of 3 starts in round 3, right?
Yeah, it's in the final. But I think I could have sworn someone said the higher seed gets ball every single game.
Okay, that's different. Yeah, I see the Ravens taking it.
So you heard it here first, guys. Ravens are going to be the season champs.
Meaning you got to see you repeating as a champion.
I don't know if there's collusion here. I don't know if there's favoritism. I don't know if Vic thinks that his seat
I don't know, man.
is at risk and thinks that Perra's running the show. I don't know, because we still.
I don't think the Ravens would.
Everyone tells me.
Prove me wrong.
Okay,
let's see playoff team.
Yeah, I played with Chris D, and I see how he plays. I love him. I traded him. Whatever. Enzo took my title, Captain Slayer, whatever. Blah blah. I was gonna say Marshall, traded Chris. But I played with Chris D. I see how he plays. I see what he did last year with David. And again, 2 captains, whatever. I get it. But when your tier 4 is your quarterback, and say whatever we want on defense, but on offense, that's a tier 1 quarterback. I think that makes a big difference.
Okay.
They were top in the standings up until Chris D had to leave. And that was a tough week because Chris D was dealing with a lot. And I know he's a football player. He gets on the football field, he plays. But when you got all those things going on around you, it's tough.
That's fair.
It's emotional breakdown. So I'm not knocking anything against the Ravens from week 4. I see from week 1 to week 3, number 1 and number 2 in the standings. So I see them taking it. But if Peaky takes it, it could happen.
Any final thoughts? Anything that you guys want to bring up to us? Any random ideas? Any random thoughts? Anything you guys want to encapsulate the regular season with?
I think if it's not the Ravens, obviously, I think the Dolphins take it, which hurts because that means they would beat us in the second round.
That's a gauntlet for Eddie with a pulled groin.
He can get it done, man.
That's a lot of dubs. Bro.
It is, but I play that team, and I said it, and I know I said it was a big if. I said if they're healthy, I think they're the best team, top to bottom.
And I feel that we got robbed from that this year, because I go back to the scrimmage. It was so fun to play with Eddie. And I really think that we got robbed from the fact of his prowess because of the fact that he got injured.
But yeah, for me, since I can't pick myself, if I have to, I'm picking Eddie as a dark horse.
Okay. Jules, you got any dark horses in this or surprises or a player you think is going to bust out in the playoffs? What do you think? Because that's another thing. It's not going to be your typical regular season. You're going to have people on the sidelines watching you. There's going to be people that are going to come early. The end zones are going to be filled with people. No. They are. This is going to be a tournament style. It's going to, because I remember it, because a lot of what happened and they put pressure on the officials. A lot of what happened to Kevin in the final of the Mamba Bowl was the fact that there was at least 50, 60 people looking at that game. So the pressure is going to be on. This is not going to be just, your boys and the referees. There's going to be people looking at you. So I'm hoping everyone goes out, even the teams that are not participating, because it's a culmination of so many weeks, so much sacrifice. And we really want to have an amazing day out there, May 15th, for the finale of this season. But we're gonna a lot of guys are gonna show their true colors. And
I think it's gonna be really interesting to see how the number 1 and number 2 seeds fare off with a two round bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually want to see how they're gonna perform.
Especially if one of the lower seeds makes it all the way to them, because they're gonna be hot.
They're gonna be hot, boy.
And we're gonna be
like the Raiders.
Okay. Yeah. Fair.
I do think somehow one of those first 4 teams is gonna make it to the semis.
100%.
Yep. And that's what I hate. That's why I hate doing the NCAA.
I smell upsets
because there's always a bracket buster. Because like I fall into the trap. I go Vikings, Jets. They're the higher seed. But there's going to be a bracket buster. Is there going to be the Jets? Is it going to be the Raiders? How much does ego come into play? Who's going to go drinking Friday night? Who's going to take it more seriously? Who plays a little bit worse? Who's going to be their tier 4 pickup, their tier 5 pickup? There's a lot of storylines. So
look, I would say dark horse for sure would be the Vikings.
And every team has the talent to win it. That's the beauty of it. And
yeah, I don't think there's a single team that they just made it, but they're just here. No. I think everything can win.
Yes. There's not one team on here that it's like they made it. How did they make it? No, it's like, yeah, Rams, Niners, Ravens, except the 49ers because they have 2 tier 5s. Ravens, Seahawks, Vikings, Dolphins, Raiders, Jets after Enzo's trade.
Everybody has a shot, man.
Everybody has a shot. And that's what we love about Done Deal. Andres, thank you for being our commissioner this year. We hope to have an amazing playoff weekend for a culmination of an amazing season. There's a lot more content coming up. We're going to be covering the playoffs, the Super Bowl champs. We'll get some of those winners on here. We'll get you more content. We're going to be looking ahead at the Summer Showdown. We're going to look at the scrimmage. We're going to look at progressions in tiers. Should I be a tier 5 or should I be a tier 4? Should Jules be a tier 2? Is Forrest really a tier 4? And does he really run a 4.5 40? I was going to put some money up. And Marsh, if you want to show up, I got DD Live is going to put $100. $100.
That's all you, man.
I'll put it. I'll put $100. I want the 5 fastest men in DD to put their names on the chat. I already got the first 2. It's Forrest and Marsh. I don't know if Marsh is going to show up to a playoff week because we know what happened with the Falcons. But I want to see who's the fastest man in DD. I'll put $100 on it. And it's not going to come from the league. It'll come from me. DD Live is going to put $100. I want to see who the fastest man this season is. But that's the point of this show, gentlemen. We appreciate you guys sending in the videos. We love the content. We appreciate David and Eddie coming onto the show. Keep giving us your feedback. Keep giving us the content. We're here to stay. We're here to recap. And we're here to give you your due. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for watching. We overextended a little bit, but guess what? It's a bye week. You can break it down. Love you guys. God bless. See you next time.
Beyond the playoffs.